Yes.
Good morning, students. Once again, we are all suffering because of this deadly, dangerous virus. Yes, what we have to do? Yes, we should be the warriors. You can see the warrior. We are chasing the deadly virus, that is Corona, COVID-19. You can become warriors. There is no need that a warrior to be in the war field. Warrior means you can be a health worker, you can be a doctor, or even you stay in your home, stay safe, and you are definitely a COVID warrior.
Yes.
So, previous animation we are seeing, we are chasing the COVID. Now, how can you chase COVID? Same, wash your hands. Here you can see a small video in which how you have to wash. Of course, by now you may be experts in washing your hands, but washing hands is the best way to chase the COVID. We are all missing our travel, we are missing our family, we are missing our friends. A day will come where we can also take up a great tour and move and enjoy our days. Till that, stay safe.
Yes.
Okay, once again, same, that be safe and be happy. Let us move to the topic, that is, we already discussed in the previous lesson, that is types of federalism. I repeat, holding and coming together federation. Do you remember that India is an example for which category? India is an example for holding together federation. Now let us move into detail what makes India a federal country. As you know, India is one such country. India was one such country which was under the control of British for a long period of time. We gained our independence through a great effort and sacrifice of freedom fighters. When India attained its freedom, India had an option of framing the constitution. That is what we are talking. Framing, making our own constitution. You studied in class 8, you studied in class 9 that constitution is framed or made by the two major groups. We are talking about Constituent Assembly under the leadership of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and we are also speaking about Drafting Committee under the leadership of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So Constituent Assembly and Drafting Committee they are all instrumental in passing the or framing or making a constitution for independent India. When Indian constitution is framed, the constitution makers followed the system of a different federation to India. We have studied American Federation, that is called Coming Together Federation. We have studied Indian Federation, that is called Holding Together Federation. But truly speaking, if you study the Indian Constitution, you cannot see a word called federation in Indian Constitution. Rather, India calls itself as Union of States. So, India is not a complete federation. India is called as semi-federation, quasi or semi-federation. That means in Indian Constitution we can find features of unitary form of government as well as federation form of government. So Indian Federation is unique or different. That's why Indian Federation is called semi-federation. Now let us move to the topic, what makes India a federal country? India emerged as an independent country from the colonial rule, and definitely when we attained independence, we suffered under the painful partition of India and Pakistan. This partition is definitely caused lot of damage to India. Constitution declared India as Union of States. That's what I said. If you remember the preamble of Indian Constitution, in the preamble of Indian Constitution, the starting line says that we the people of India, having solemnly resolved, constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. Further it goes on. So in Indian Constitution, I already explained you, we cannot see a word called federation. Rather, India is called as Union of States. India is a Union of States. So Indian Constitution declared India as a Union of States. Indian constitutionally originally provided for two-tier system of government. Now, what is called tier? Tier means layers. Indian Constitution originally provided for two-tier system. A question for you: in which year India adopted the Constitution? Yeah, India adopted the Constitution in the year 1950 on 26th January. That is what we are celebrating. Which day? Republic Day. So when Indian Constitution officially declared India as Union of States, we had only two tiers of the government. That means in 1950 we had central government and state government. So which is the third government now we have? Yeah, we have third tier, that is local self-government. So now union government and central government, that is what the original constitution. Initially we had central government as well as regional government or the state government. But after that, when Indian Constitution was amended, the Constitution of India with the amendment introduced Panchayat Raj. That is the third layer of the government. That is what we are talking. Third tier of the government or the layer of the government. The third layer of the government is called as Panchayat and municipalities. Panchayat, that is what we are talking about. Panchayat Raj. You have village Panchayat, Taluk Panchayat and Jilla Parishads. So we have three levels of government in the local self-government. We have municipalities, we have city corporations, we have metropolitan cities where they are controlled by the local administration. So originally when the Constitution had two-tier system of government, but at present we have three, that is state government, central government as well as local self-government. That is the third layer. Now, whenever there is no clear-cut information in a written form, there is a possibility of confusion. To avoid the confusion and to have smooth administration, the Constitution of India clearly mentioned the powers of central government and state government in the three different lists. Lists are nothing but subjects. Subject is not the history, political science, maths. It is not the subject. Subject means, like for example, defense. Defense is the subject. Railway is the subject. Transport is the subject. Communication is the subject. Aviation is a subject. So like that, every now and agriculture, education, police, irrigation, lot of subjects. Subjects are nothing but ministries. Today, what you are seeing in central government, defense minister, home minister, water minister, finance minister, agriculture minister. These are all constitutionally we are speaking them as what? Subjects. So constitutionally we are speaking them as subjects. So in the Constitution of India, we have three lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. I repeat, union list, state list and concurrent list. Union list gives power to which government? That is to union government. Union government means central government. State list gives power to who? State government, because it is a state list. Concurrent list gives power to both the government, that is union as well as state government. That is what we are talking about. Three lists. Let us go detail into the list. Union list mentioned in the 7th schedule of Indian Constitution. When the Indian Constitution came into effect in the year 1950, originally Indian Constitution had 8 schedules. 4 schedules were added. Now there are 12 schedules of Indian Constitution. In 7th schedule of Indian Constitution, you can see the mentioning of union list and state list and concurrent list. In the union list, the government enjoys the power to legislate the law. Means, all those subjects which are there in the union list, the central government is empowered to legislate or pass the law on the union list. Central government means, to be specific, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can pass the law on all those subjects which are mentioned in which list? That is in union list. So union list, union government enjoys the power to pass the legislations or law in those union lists. Originally, union list consists of 97 subjects of national interest. Originally, in the sense, when the constitution came into force. Presently, there are 101 subjects. So, because every now and then, when there are constitution is amended or changed, certain subjects are added or certain subjects are deleted. That is administrative procedure. Don't worry much about the number. But remember, when constitution came into effect, we had 97 subjects in the union list. Thus, union list is a list which provides power to the union government or central government to pass the laws. Examples you see. Union list consists of 97 subjects. So children, I cannot bring all those 97 subjects in a single slide. When the regular classes are going on, we will study about those classes, important subjects. Now there are some important subjects which is mentioned here. One, central government is responsible for defense of the country. Central government is responsible for citizenship, foreign trade, foreign affairs, communication, currency, banking, railway, navigation, shipping, aviation, and so on. These are all belong to the central government. Take for example, if there is a tension between India and Pakistan or India and China, it is the responsibility of central government to solve the problem because it is coming under union list. If Indian citizens are not safe in any of the foreign countries, then it is the responsibility of central government to take care because that is the responsibility of union list. Communication, we are talking telecommunication, satellites and all those comes under central government. Printing of currency, controlling the reserve bank or controlling the economic activities, responsibility of central government. Railways, important lifeline in India, railway is controlled by the central government. So, union list consists of 97 important subjects of national interest. If a new railway line has to be started, then who has to permit? State government or local government? No, it is the central government because railway is definitely coming under union list. So, this is, we are talking about few examples of union list. I already explained you. 97 subjects originally were there, now nearly 101 subjects are there. So these are the important subjects of union list. Move to the next, state list. Now in India we have state government, we have central government. When you have state government, if state government is not enjoying any power, then that is a dummy government which don't have any use. That's why when the constitution is made, the makers of constitution, those who framed the constitution, they very clearly mentioned what are the powers of state government. So state list provides power to the state government to pass the law. Originally in state list consists of 66 subjects. So originally state list considers 66 subjects. Presently 59 subjects are there because of some constitutional amendments. But remember this, that is originally 66 subjects were there. All those administrative subjects protects the regional interest mentioned in the state. Which are the subjects given to the state? For example, police. Police is definitely the responsibility of state government. If the law and order of the state should be maintained, police should be given power. So police is definitely a subject which we can see in state list. So that's what all those administrative subjects which are given to the union list. Purpose of this to protect regional interest. Okay. Third, the state list in India makes state government more empowered in implementing the laws related to the subjects of state interest. Take for example, if you may be seen in the news, so TVs, that few days back Maharashtra government requested central government to send additional force because Maharashtra government was unable to control the people movement because of the spreading of coronavirus. So Maharashtra government demanded central government send additional force. Now, without permission of Maharashtra government, central government cannot send additional force because police is a subject definitely mentioned in the state list. So that is very clearly said that the subject mentioned in the state list definitely gives power, empower the state governments so that state government can make effective administration and definitely protect the interest of their respective states. Subjects. These are the few subjects mentioned. I already explained you. There are 66 subjects. Okay. Public health. Public health. Take for example, now we can relate with it. Those people who are suffering because of COVID, the treatment of COVID patients done by whom? By the state government. That's why in every district hospital is declared as COVID hospital. So responsibility of taking help of health issue related to the state government. Police, I already mentioned. Police is the responsibility of state government. Agriculture. Let it be agriculture related activities related to state. Water and irrigation. Construction of dams, canals, providing water. Land means land revenue, collection of land revenue, everything belongs to state government. Fisheries, state government. It is the state government who will decide related to when to allow or permit fisheries or fishing or not to permit fishing. It's the responsibility of state government. Local government, prisons, maintenance of pilgrimage. Take for example temples in Karnataka. The revenue of the temples of Karnataka directly goes to state government. So subjects of state list, few subjects are mentioned here. There are 66 subjects in the state list. Remember, subjects of state list definitely state interest. Third one we are talking about concurrent list. So there are three lists. One is union list, second is state list, third one is concurrent list. Concurrent list include the subject of common interest, and concurrent list gives power to both state and central government. State and central government can pass law on the subjects mentioned in the concurrent list. Originally, 47 subjects are mentioned in the concurrent list. 47 subjects mentioned in the concurrent list. So concurrent list gives power to both central and state government. So in concurrent list, 47 subjects are there. These subjects concurrent list gives power to both central and state government. Criminal law, marriage, civil procedure code, welfare of laborers, protection of wildlife, economic and social planning of a state, adoption, education, forest, and so on. These are all subjects mentioned in the concurrent list. So, I repeat, there are three lists. One is union list, gives exclusive power to the union government. Second is state list, gives exclusive power to state government. Third one is concurrent list, gives power to state and central government. Union list, how many subjects? 97. State list 66. And concurrent list 47 subjects.